いつも君と待ち続けた季節は何も言わず通り過ぎた。雨はこの街に降り注ぐ少しのリグレットと罪を包み込んで泣かないことを誓ったまま時は過ぎ痛む心に気がつかずに僕は一人になった記憶の中でずっと二人は生きてゆける君の声が今も胸に響くよ。それは愛がさまよう限り君は少し泣いた。あの時見えなかった。
Do you have your answer for me?
We want to ask something first. You're asking us to fight an entire planet. How exactly do you expect us to do that? You must have something up your sleeve, or else you wouldn't put us up to it.
The great astral spirit is an immense being, but its actual will does not run throughout its entire body. Rather, its will is derived from the core, which supports the rest of the body, and is where its strength is most densely concentrated. Therefore, if you destroy the core, the Great Spirit shall become unable to maintain sentience and return to being ordinary astral energy.
And how are we supposed to destroy that core?
By using the Renus Alma. You will also need the assistance of both the Sovereign and the Maiden. They are our best tools for suppressing and controlling astral energy. Using their powers, the Maiden shall seal the great astral spirit within her body, and the Sovereign shall wield the power of the Renus Alma to destroy it.
Hold on. That sounds a lot like what Shion described before.
Yeah, killing herself to take out the thorns with her.
She was actually right all along.
By my calculations, your powers combined should be sufficient to destroy the great astral spirit and disperse its energy widely enough to make it difficult to reform.
What will happen to the Maiden once we manage to beat the great astral spirit?
Any matter contained within the field of destruction shall be erased.
So it really will kill me.
This method is the most simple one available to destroy the Great Spirit, and is therefore our most reliable option.
What are our other options?
There is little reason to consider alternative courses of action when the most optimal among them is so clear.
You don't get it. I promised Shion that she wouldn't die, that we'd save the world without needing to sacrifice her. We didn't fight this whole time just to give up on her at the very end. If there's any other way to take out the Great Spirit, I want to hear it.
This plan shall lead to the fewest losses in preserving your world. Abandoning it is irrational.
That's...
It is vital that you proceed with this plan. A part of Rena's great astral spirit already resides within her. 300 years ago, the Great Spirit descended upon Lenegis in an attempt to assume direct control of the spirit channeling ceremony. We have reason to believe the Great Spirit left part of itself behind, and that it now resides in the Maiden.
Which would make Alphen's earlier hypothesis correct.
That part inside the Maiden belongs to the core, and can be used by the great astral spirit to revive itself. So long as it remains, it will be all but impossible to fully eradicate the Great Spirit. That is why it is necessary for it to be vanquished only once it is whole. Without the Maiden's direct control over the Great Spirit, attacking it is futile, and will only serve to strengthen it.
No.
Wait. Naori said that the Renis Alma can suppress the self-realization of astral energy, and that the thorns can be neutralized by placing them in it. If so, can't the same also be done to the Great Spirit, seeing as the thorns are simply part of it?
Well, can it?
It is true that the Renis Alma is capable of what you suggest, and could contain the great astral spirit.
Yes!
However, doing so requires fine control on the level of the spirit channeling ceremony, considering that the Renis Alma was previously lost when that ceremony failed. I cannot allow it. Its uncertainty is simply too great.
What does that mean for us if you won't allow it?
Your starship will not be restored, and you will all be unable to leave here.
Why you?
Fine then. I'd rather stay here and rot than do it your way.
Alphen?
Whatever we do, if we mess up, Dana's screwed. The Great Spirit will destroy it. If you're fine letting that happen, and we have nothing to gain either way, then I'd rather do nothing. We want to stop Dana from getting destroyed. We want to save it. But not if it means having to sacrifice one of us in the process. If all you're gonna do is sit back and watch us where it's safe, then quit ordering us around and shut up!
Alphen.
What you say is irrational. Be that as it may, I shall accede to your demand.
You'll agree?
I am an observer. The Sovereign, Maiden, and Renis Alma are my species' greatest achievement. I wish to see how well they work against the Great Spirit in light of our demise by its hands.
But what are we supposed to do about the Renis Alma? One of your buddies ran off with it back on Lenegis.
It is likely that the Renis Alma is with the Great Spirit, functioning as a catalyst for it to receive Dana's astral energy.
So our only option to retrieve it is to head straight for the Great Spirit and take it back?
According to my observations, the astral energy is most densely concentrated in the center of Rena, where the Great Spirit's core is located.
So right in the middle of that giant flower, then.
I have one more question. You've said that Rena's great astral spirit is already integrated with the planet. What will happen to Rena once it vanishes?
Without the will of the Great Spirit, Rena is predicted to collapse. Even in such a scenario, the energy will disperse, and the Great Spirit will likely not reform.
So you're saying that even if we manage to beat the Great Spirit without destroying it, we'll still be in danger?
Likely, the collapse will occur in stages. It is recommended that you all escape before the final stage.
Man, I wish that thing would tell it to us straight for once.
Hevrek 35 and the others have gotten used to hypothesizing from afar, is all. Fix our starship. We're going to Rena.
Excellent.
But I want to make one thing clear. We're doing this for ourselves, to protect what matters to us. We're not doing it for your sake, or because you told us to. Remember that.
It matters little to me. The end result shall be the same. Repair work on your starship has commenced. You'll have to wait until it's finished.
Man, is it too much to ask for Hevrek 35 to talk like a normal person? I swear I can feel my brain starting to fry after listening to all that complicated stuff.
Don't worry. I think we're mostly done with him. Now all we have to do is rest up and wait. Once the Fall Knights is good to go again, we'll be taking off for Rena right away. Is the Renis Alma really our only hope against the Great Spirit? There has to be another way, right?
Shion's Fire Master Core was able to suppress astral energy to prevent it from gaining sentience, right? Couldn't we make use of that somehow?
I'm not sure. In small doses, maybe. And with the amount of energy we're talking about here.
Back in Calaglia, the Blazing Sword was able to take in a whole spirit vessel's worth of energy. If it has the capacity to manage that, it can do this, right?
Except after it absorbed the energy, it ended up releasing it all moments later, remember? Let's not forget, it nearly killed you. Besides, this is the Great Spirit we're talking about, not a paltry vessel. Even if I could use the Master Core, your body wouldn't be able to take the strain of channeling that much energy.
Hevrek 35 didn't mention it, and it did not seem the type to skimp on details. So assuming it's even possible, the chances are slim to none.
You're probably right.
You still thinking about what the scientists told us? About where Renans really come from?
I am, but not for myself.
You're worried about the future of the Renan people.
The fact that our people have been the same this whole time will only give the Dahnans further reason to resent us.
But you still intend to confront this truth head-on, don't you?
Well, I did declare that I would live my life for the living, and not the dead. Even as I dream of retirement, I shall remain dedicated to the cause.
I'm sure you'll do great.
Now that I think about it, I don't believe I've ever heard you criticize or reproach us Renans even once.
I'm no saint. I have skeletons in my closet too. There was definitely a time when I hated Renans for who they were. I hated them just for being Renan. But you changed that, Dohalim. You gave me an opportunity to see them in a different light. Thanks to your reforms, We were able to stand next to Renans not as slaves, but as equals for the first time in our lives. Of course, I'm sure there were some Renans who still hated us on the inside. But we knew that not all of you were like that. There were those of you who were good, and that was a start. When it comes down to it, Renans are just people. They can be good or bad, just like Dahnans.
That is, in essence, the heart of your approach, isn't it? That we're all people.
Yeah, it is. When you can pull someone aside and talk to them one-on-one, then you have the chance to come to an understanding. But as soon as you stereotype, that chance goes away, and you stop thinking of them as people that you can relate to.
I understand what you're saying, but we're talking about massive numbers of Renans and Dahnans alike. Realistically speaking, surely they won't all be able to get along.
Even if we end up butting heads with one person, maybe we'll find better luck among their friends. If we can build a society that works like that, that'll be something worth nurturing and protecting.
So you wish for people to form real bonds and do away with the hierarchy outright? To deal with one another as humans, and nothing more? That's the ideal future you hope to see when this is all over?
Yes, I do. I think it would make for a fine tribute to my brother's legacy. Though, that said, I would be doing it for the people of the future first and foremost. Do you still plan to return to Lenegis when this is over?
Indeed I do. I don't know whether I'll be able to reside in Lenegis proper, however. My first order of business may be to find somewhere to live.
You'll always have a home in Menancia, you know.
As I shall ever keep in mind.
Well, if you ever need a helping hand, don't hesitate to come get me. I'll always be there for you, Doe.
Did you just... Never mind. Thank you, Kisara. I appreciate your patience as I work all this out.
Don't even mention it. And really, when you think about it, now that we know the two of us aren't so different after all, don't you think that brings down a barrier that used to be between us?
You know, I hadn't actually thought of it that way before. But I do like the sound of it.
Yeah, I think I do too.
Hey, why'd you call me here? Was there something you wanted to talk about?
Well, if everything we've heard about the Great Spirit is true, then we're getting close to our final battle. So I wanted to apologize while I can.
Apologize? For what?
I was being real stupid before, about whether Dana's will had been controlling us and all that. I get why you're angry now. Anybody would be if something they trusted was being questioned. So, I'm sorry, Rinwell. Really. I should have kept my mouth shut.
No, Law. Honestly, I think you might have been onto something. Of course you were worried. Who wouldn't be if they found out there might be some invisible force pulling our strings this whole time?
But you really trust Dana's will, don't you? Is it because you can sense it a lot more than the rest of us? Because you can understand it?
Yeah, I think that might be part of it. But I also want to believe it's good.
Believe?
Remember how I used to really resent coming from a family of mages?
Yeah, of course. Because you were always on the run and had to live in hiding.
When we rescued Zephyr and I finally decided to come along with you all, something changed inside me. It was the first time I felt like my powers had any meaning, even if that meaning was only helping you guys fight. Then, when I felt Dana's will, I was overwhelmed by how vast and warm it was. It made me want to believe my powers were made to connect with it. It made me believe I had a bigger purpose.
So that's why you hope it doesn't turn out to be bad. You almost need it to be kind.
Yeah.
Well, alright. Then I promise I'll lay off bad-mouthing it.
You will?
There's no way for me to know for sure one way or the other, right? But you trust it, Rinwell, and that's enough for me. So I'll trust it because you do.
Remember what I said about neither planet's great spirit reaching us here?
Yeah?
That's not quite true. I can feel just a little bit of Rena's inside you and everyone else.
You... what?
I sensed it when we first got here. It's a really small amount, so it doesn't feel like it has a will of its own. But I think that's how Dana's energy probably is too.
So you're saying there's a little bit of Dana's will inside each of us? In a way, doesn't that mean we're all Dana's will?
What?
Well, like you said, unless Dana's energy comes together, it has no will. So if we all have a little bit of Dana's astral energy inside us...
Yeah, maybe...
Heverick 35 might know the answer. But, you know what? I don't need to ask it. My will is my own. I fight for who I want to fight for. That's who I am now. Who I've become. So thanks, Rinwell, for sharing that with me. To be honest, the only reason I was suspicious of Dana's will... well, I mean, it mostly was... I feel like you and I had grown apart lately, and I was worried it was because...
Huh?
Never mind. Nothing. Just forget about it.
Huh? No, what were you saying?
Saying? I don't remember
Come
saying
on.
anything.
Now you won't tell me what you were thinking?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Then spit it out already.
You sure you don't want to get some rest?
I can't. I've got too much on my mind. Especially knowing how close our last battle is. How are you doing, Xion?
Same as you, still trying to absorb everything.
Remember when it was so simple? We were only fighting all the lords on Dana? All of that feels like a lifetime ago, doesn't it?
Ages and ages ago. Everything that's happened since we first met. So many fights, so much chaos, so many wonderful people.
If I hadn't run into you that day, well, I wouldn't have met all of you. I never would have held the blazing sword or looked for something more. I wouldn't have my memories back. I'd still be a faceless slave, like as not long dead.
Hey, Alphen. I want you to promise me something.
Yeah?
If we can't find the Renis Alma, there's something I want you to do. Like Heverick 35 said, the only way we can end the Great Spirit for good is to go after both the main body in Rena and the thorns in me. I need you to promise me, Alphen, that if for some reason we can't get the Renis Alma back, you'll use the Blazing Sword to destroy the Great Spirit, and me along with it.
Huh?
It's true the Blazing Sword may not have the strength of the Renis Alma. But it's taken us this far. It's slain lords and beasts. At the very least, it has to be worth a try.
You can't be serious. Have you forgotten everything that
Listen,
we've...
the Great Spirit isn't just our problem. It's a threat to our entire world. Renans and Dahnans alike. We don't know what's going to happen when we face it, but we need to be prepared for anything. We can't second-guess ourselves when the time comes. I promise you, I'm not planning on going anywhere. I'm prepared to fight with absolutely everything I've got. But if it comes down to it, I need you to be prepared too.
Okay. But you should know that I'm not going to give up on you, Shionne. I'm going to fight this until the very end. I hope you can forgive me for that.
Alphen. Okay, I understand. And I'll forgive you.
Thank you, Shionne.
So it's a promise then?
Yeah, it's a promise.
I remember how I felt the first time you touched me. My thorns made any contact a mistake no one would ever make twice. After they'd seen what could happen, fear would always linger behind their eyes. In my entire life, I never had someone willingly reach out to me. But when you reached out to me and gently took my hand, you didn't react at all. It was so easy for you. I don't have words for the shock I felt in that moment.
That's because I couldn't feel pain back then.
Even once you could, though, you still chose to keep reaching out to me. And when you did, I felt this warmth that I had never known before. But still, I hate having to see you suffer through it every time you do.
You won't have to worry about that for much longer.
You think so?
I do, because Shionne,
No. You can tell me once my thorns are gone. Okay?
Yeah. Okay. Everybody get enough rest? We ready for this?
Yeah, we should probably get moving.
Agreed. Can't stand around waiting all day.
Our task is relatively straightforward. We need only descend down to Rena, defeat the Great Spirit, and restore stability to both worlds.
We're fighting for a new future for both Dahna and Rena.
Right. We've come this far. We will save our worlds. That's a promise.
Then let's go, everybody. We've got one last wall to tear down.
Repairs on your starship are complete. Everything is in working order.
Is that you, Hevrek 35? You can see us from where you are?
I can. I can see anywhere within the bounds of Dake Faisal.
Sounds like someone's a peeping Tom.
Maybe we should give Hevrek 35 a break. It has been stuck in this tiny facility for a very, very long time.
I have unlocked all functions on your starship. You can now make use of its warp drive.
Warp drive? Wait, you mean like what the Red Women used on us? What brought us here?
It's possible that the Red Women may have found a way to activate it on the starship. They are Helgenquil, after all.
Using the warp drive, you should be able to breach Rena's atmosphere without being detected.
Wait, should?
You'll need to be careful. Due to the force field surrounding Rena, the ship will be unable to go any further than the surface of the planet.
So, once we reach the shell, it appears we'll have to infiltrate the core by foot. Understood.
We gotta go all the way down just walking?
Will all the Helganquil go back to normal once we defeat the Great Spirit? I have a strange feeling we're going to have to fight them before this is all over.
The extinction of my people is inevitable at this stage. As such, it would be illogical to risk the success of the mission in a vain attempt to save my kind.
We understand.
Can't that thing lighten up a bit? Everything it says seems to be about what's illogical.
Well, come on, Doe.
Hold up, did you just...
You heard the lady. Get going.
I have one last question.
What?
As Sovereign, your identification number indicates that you are well past your predicted life expectancy. Similarly, the Maiden lacks any identification number, as her function should have been rendered unnecessary. Despite this, the two of you continue to exist. Why?
We exist because others have entrusted this to us. Over the years, many people have come together and sworn to see this through to the end.
You mean it is because of multiple chance interactions? Statistically improbable. Why have you two continued to persist under these conditions?
It's hard to explain. To be honest, I don't think it's something an observer could understand. All right, time to get back on the Fall Knights.
It would appear that our Helganquil host really has fulfilled its end of the bargain.
You know what that means. Time to go to Rena.
I guess this means we should give that warp drive a spin.
There's nothing here. This weird ocean we're surrounded by just stretches out everywhere. Is this really where the Helganquil come from?
I don't sense even a trace of astral energy. This world is dead.
Then this must be the Hollowing.
You mean to tell me this whole world, the entire ocean is that stuff?
And it's covering everything. The entire planet.
This is what the Great Spirit does. After it depleted this planet of every last speck of astral energy, it went after Dana.
So arresting. This world of doom.
Back in its day, Rena was probably just as vibrant as Dana is. But after being robbed of its astral energy for so long, those days are gone and past. This is all that will remain.
So the Great Spirit took everything. It stole energy not just from living beings, but the land, the sea, everything.
And it bound the Helganquil in servitude, until their whole world was nothing but this. And by the looks of it, that's how it remains to this day. A world of death and emptiness.
With nothing left here to consume, the Great Spirit turned its sights on Dana, looking for another host.
You're saying if we don't stop it, this is what Dana's going to look like?
We can be sure that even these few remaining remnants of Renan life will not be spared in the end.
If the oblivion and darkness both Shion and Naori saw comes to pass, nothing will survive. It looks like we can climb down from there. Let's take a look.
So this is Rena. This is where everything began. Yet it's a dead world?
I won't let Dana suffer the same fate, ever.
A hollowed ocean as far as the eye can see. What do you think would happen if we fell in?
What do you mean, what would happen? You'd drown, wouldn't you?
Come to think of it, I don't believe I've heard of someone ever trying. Perhaps you'd like the glory of being the first?
Nah, I'll pass.
This is essentially a world-sized Renan graveyard. Are you proposing to disturb the dead slumber just to satisfy your curiosity, Law?
No, because I said I passed.
Taking an interest is understandable, but let's not forget where we are. This place deserves our respect.
Looks like we're not going to be hearing the end of this one for a while.
You'd think I was already snorkeling in it or something. So the idea is to seal the Great Spirit inside the Renis Alma using the Sovereign and Maiden's power. But just how do we do that exactly?
I'm guessing it won't be as easy as holding a spirit channeling ceremony at our leisure.
I already had wielded astral energy once 3 centuries ago. As for suppressing her thorns, Shion's had a lifetime's experience. The problem isn't just our enemy's strength, it's that it's sentient too. And you can bet anything you like it's not going to just sit back and let us destroy it.
In other words, we need to find some way to weaken it in advance. The Great Spirit, that is.
Back when Shion's thorns flew out of control, we were able to deal with them directly. If this is their host, they should be even more corporeal here.
If that's the case, it should make them easier to attack at least. And if we can manage to divert enough energy away from the spirit's core, even temporarily,
we might just be able to weaken it enough to steal the Renis Alma, which we can then use to seal it away forever. It won't be easy, but it's our only shot. Time to buckle up. Question for you. Let's say, knock on wood, everything turns out for the best.
What'll the world be like? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of this, do you really think everything will be that different?
A lot will have to change, that's for sure. The world will have to adjust to so much. My only worry is if those changes turn out to be merely skin deep.
what do you mean?
It's well and good putting an end to Renan rule. But if it just turns the tables, it's all for naught.
That's true. Just as bad if the Danans started pressing their own.
Renans, Danans, astral art users, mages. The world is full of labels used to divide and separate people.
If only we could see differences like that for what they are. No different to someone having a musical talent or being good with their hands. Not differences so much as characteristics.
It will take someone in power to set an example. But with time, people will follow. And then, perhaps one day...
There will no longer be any need for the example. It will have become second nature.
That's where we come in. We can set the example. Imagine it. A world where magic and astral arts are used to help people. Where that's the norm rather than the exception.
Yeah, you're right, Rinwell. Why wait for somebody else? We can show them ourselves.
We should be able to cook here.
Hey!
Is this about dinner last night? I didn't realize those ingredients were off.
What? No! I mean, wait, you fed us rotten food?
Rinwell, the point.
Oh, yeah, right. So I was thinking about those armored soldiers we've seen. There are regular Renans inside them, right?
Yeah, they're designed to make whoever's wearing them stronger. At least, I think that's the idea.
Right. So it kind of begs the question then, why are they made so huge?
I don't know, makes them more intimidating, I guess? Or maybe all that tech wizardry inside takes up a lot of space.
You don't think it's weird how the armored soldiers are the exact same height as the Helganquil?
Can't say I'd ever noticed it till now. And?
Connect the dots, Law!
Okay, let me get this straight. You think the armored suits might have originally been designed to allow Renans to work alongside the Helganquil?
Huh. But if that's true, what would that mean?
It would mean... just that, I guess. But still, don't you think it's kind of interesting?
Not... hugely? Hey, Kisara, while I've got you, what's on tonight's menu? Because I was thinking, maybe meat?
Get him, Hootle.
What did I do?
Oh, now you want to listen. Keep pecking, Hootle!
Ow, ow, ow! Seriously, what the hell? You know, guys, when you think about it, we've taken out a lot of Zeugles. Like, a whole lot.
You can say that again. If one thing's for certain in this world, it's that wherever we go, we'll always end up bumping into them.
Isn't it weird that they're still so plentiful? You don't think the Renans have, like, a ranch where they breed them, do you?
Certainly in all of my years, I've never heard of them constructing such a massive facility on Dana, let alone up in Lenegis.
The only thing I can think of, then, is that the feral ones must be reproducing on their own.
There's also no organized effort on our part to hunt them down, so it's difficult to fully exterminate them.
Exterminate them? Whoa, don't you think that's maybe a little harsh?
What do you mean?
Zeugles originally used to be living creatures native to Dana and Rena, right? Being genetically modified isn't their fault.
You're right. Zeugles were only created because of us Renans. We altered the original creatures to suit our own ends.
First, people made Zeugles, and then we let them go. And now we're trying to kill them because they're a threat. They really have only seen the very worst, huh?
I hope we find a way to be able to live side by side with them one day.
It's a nice thought, but they attack towns and cities. What else are we supposed to do?
Aside from the strays that have gone wild, it's worth remembering that Renans are able to keep them somewhat under control.
If we had distinct territories that didn't overlap, that might reduce the danger they pose.
Well, I guess when you look at it that way, maybe people and Zeugles aren't so different after all.
Are you just going to keep standing around or what?
Sorry, I'm just getting prepped over here.
Hoo-hoo! Hoo-hoo-hoo!
This shall be a feast for the senses.
Hey, Alphen, what do you think of that chick over there?
Doesn't look like she really works out.
I'm not talking about her muscles, you dummy!
This should be a good place to fight.
Wow, Kisara. It's so big.
You're talking about my shield, right?
That Zeugel's in our way.
No
Anything
choice.
in armor is all mine!
Hey, it's
I'm ready!
Xion! Get toasty!
Burn strike!
Their hide is thick as armor!
You picked the wrong fight!
Take
Do
this!
it!
Rinwell! Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis! We won that by a mile! I think Hootle senses something. I think Hootle senses something.
My word. This must be the work of Providence.
Prova what now?
It means destiny. I think it's a bit of an exaggeration, though.
Hey, Rinwell, tell me about your parents. What were they like?
They were kind. That's the part I like to remember. They could also be strict, though, especially when it came to magic. I never understood why I had to work so hard to learn magic. Why we couldn't just be done with it and live openly like everyone else. Needless to say, that didn't go over well. Of course, if I'd had known that one day I'd be doing this, I would have taken my studies more seriously. What about your parents?
Same deal. Run through the mill. Told constantly that training was the only way to survive in a world like this. It got bad enough that I ended up running away and siding with the Renans of all people. And now, I've got that training to thank for being alive.
I know how that feels.
The first time we met, you risked using your magic to stop me from kicking my dad's ass. You could have done anything else. You could have ignored it. So, why?
Yeah, I guess something about Zephyr reminded me of my own father.
You don't say. So, did your pops and mine look a lot like each other?
Not really. Not at all, in fact. I don't know how to explain it. I just felt a resemblance, I guess.
Wow. Well, I won't pretend I understand, but I'm glad. Your dad must have been a great guy.
He was.
Maybe it's the snow soaking up all the sound, but something about Cyslodia always feels mysterious to me. Solemn, almost.
When it comes to solemnity, I'd say our own Octolina Palace is no slouch.
I won't argue with you there. Still, that azure tint of the shadows on the silvery white snow, it has a certain indescribable quality.
Indeed. It was boorish of me to even suggest such a comparison.
All I know is it's freaking cold. Still, more pleasant now that the locals aren't quite as frosty towards us.
Well, excuse me if I'm too frosty for your warm self.
Oh, come on! You know I didn't mean you. Besides, really, I'm the one who...
How about we stop getting hung up on the past for a change? Take what you've learned and put it to use in the future instead.
An unexamined past can be just as dangerous in its own right.
Better that than obsessing over it like a certain someone I know.
Kisara doesn't mince her words, does she?
I could say the same thing about one or two of the other women around here.
Tell me about it.
I think I'll refrain from commenting on this one.
Hootle, I've got some dried fish for you. You want some?
Forget that. Doesn't some tasty red meat sound better, boy?
Hey! Stop trying to coax him away with treats. Get your own adorable sidekick if you're so desperate for one.
He appears to enjoy being the center of attention.
Funny how things change. He and Rinwell used to be joined at the hip, or shoulder to talon.
It's not just Hootle who's become more trusting. Isn't that so, Rinwell?
They do say pets and their owners act alike. I suppose since we've been together, I've done my share of coming out of my own shell too.
Well then, I guess with you and Hootle, that makes us all one big happy family.
Sometimes when I'm deep in thought, Hootle will come over and sit next to me. I only wish I could actually pet him.
Oh, you will someday. You won't believe how soft he is.
Wish I had that problem. I'm lucky if I can so much as look at old Featherbrain without him trying to claw me to ribbons.
Really? He seems tame enough around everyone else. Maybe it's just Hootle's way of establishing dominance?
That's dogs, not owls.
What's going on when Hootle pecks at you?
I don't know. Like when I'm talking to Rinwell, it's like he's trying to muscle me out or something. Unless... Wait, you don't suppose I make him jealous?
Come again?
Ow! Ah, get off of me, you insecure fluffball!
I rather think they make a good comedic pairing.
pretty cute.
Who are you looking at? Quit gawking and let's go.
Ow!
I think Hootle senses something.
Ooh. Ooh.
This shall be a feast for the senses. My word, this must be the work of Providence.
Prava what now?
It means destiny. I think it's a bit of an exaggeration, though.
Hey, Law. Been training?
Yeah, I guess I got a little carried away. You think this is bad, you should see the state of my underwear.
Yeah. A word of advice. You might want to refrain from mentioning that stuff around girls. Ones without a military history especially.
Man, can you imagine Rinwell's face? She'd have a nervous breakdown.
I meant in general, but... You sure mention her a lot, you know.
Huh? Oh, you know, she's always there, even when you least expect it. Springs to mind easily.
Either that, or maybe some part of you is subconsciously always wishing she was there.
May the trials and tribulations of young romance never change.
Romance? Like I'd be interested in that know-it-all tomboy. I'm more about mature women. Someone more like Kisara.
You know, I used to be a tomboy too when I was Rinwell's age.
Look, it's not tomboys I have anything against. But come on, you've got to admit she can be a lot to handle.
Hey, I miss anything? What's all the fuss about?
Rinwell.
Thunderblade!
Ah! What the hell was that for?
A little birdie told me you were speaking about me behind my back. Whew!
From the looks of it, I'd say you've got yourself a rival.
It wouldn't be called the Spring of Youth without a little storm every now and then.
Hey, Shion. How are you and Alphen getting on these days?
That's a little out of the blue. Why do you ask?
Sorry, it's just... I don't know, I'm just curious, I guess. I mean, a lot's changed now he's got his senses back and all.
I suppose you're right. Well, to tell you the truth, if he'd been the way he is now back when I'd first met him, I probably wouldn't have gotten this involved. But then, if we hadn't met like we did, then I never would have experienced these feelings, so... I guess... it's complicated.
I can imagine. I know it's not the same thing, but I know what it feels like to have someone you love who's out of reach.
Because of Miguel.
Alphen's still alive. It's not too late, you know. And after all, who can say what the future holds? I think if I were you, I'd take things as they come for now.
Besides, touch isn't everything. I've never touched you, Xion, but that doesn't stop you from knowing that I care about you, right?
That's true. But I do remember back when we first met, you made it plenty clear you weren't my biggest fan.
But that was a long time ago. There were lots of things I didn't understand back then. Not that that's the point.
Don't worry, I'm only teasing. I know what you mean. Thank you. And you're right. There are ways to convey your feelings besides just touching.
I'll say, cooking immediately springs to mind. And if it's someone's favorite dish, all the better. If there's something on your mind that you want to tell him, why not try appealing directly to his stomach?
You might just have a point. I'll give it a shot.
Uh-oh. If it's Alphen's palate you're appealing to, that doesn't bode well for the rest of us.
Well, friendship is about being supportive. Sometimes we just have to do our best and take one for the team, right?
Even after staying here, we never truly got to the bottom of what makes this realm's citizens tick.
Renan and Danon are meaningless distinctions here. To have one's own mind is strictly forbidden. All that matters is blind obedience.
That might be the case now, but it can't always have been like that. There must have been something more.
Once, maybe. Question is that something still salvageable?
If it's not, we'll just have to make something new. No, not we. They've had enough foisted on them as it is.
You're right. It's time the people here had the chance to forge their own path. That's not to say it'll be easy, but it will be worthwhile.
These things take time to... What the... An ambush?
Sorry. Sorry. There was a huge flying bug and I sort of shot without thinking.
A bug? You mean like a Zeugl?
Something tells me she would have shot it, whether it was a Zeugl or not.
This realm is teeming with humid forests. It's only natural insects would feel more at home here than Menancia. In fact, I seem to recall reading somewhere that bugs around these parts lay their eggs in human food to ensure healthy incubation.
Sounds like they're tougher than they look.
What about you, Alphen? Bugs don't creep you out?
I wouldn't say I was their #1 fan. Mind you, if times get desperate enough, I've been known to eat them.
Insects as a culinary option, you say? What kind of seasoning are we talking?
Dohalim, I don't think he was talking about cooking them.
Hey, a lizard!
Who?
I see you've got your relics all lined up again. What are you doing? Huh? They're so bright now.
Oh, it's you two. I was merely tending to my collection.
Don't you think you've polished them enough by now?
You take better care of your relics than you do yourself.
I try to take good care of them. However, no matter how much work I put in, it refused to respond.
I thought you could hear their voices somehow.
I can, but that's all I can do with them. I can't actually engage in conversation with them. Not yet.
What are they saying? Did they really want you to polish them that much?
You're right. I was so enraptured with them, I may have selfishly failed to consider their own wishes. I must open my mind and sincerely engage with them in earnest.
He never gets tired of his relics, does he?
Nope. It is interesting to look at them when they're all lined up together like this, though. Like how these two have similar designs. It makes me wonder if they were made in the same period.
An excellent observation. Yes, I too suspect they're somehow intimately related as well.
I don't see what you two are talking about at all.
What's this? Why, that smear wasn't there previously. Could it be responding to my voice at long last? It's rather viscous and has a distinct aroma to it.
Ugh, Hootle! These relics are no place for you to do your business! Whew! I'm serious! These are priceless pieces of history!
Come on, Dohalim. Let's go wash your hands before you catch anything weird.
My word, this must be the work of Providence.
Prava what now?
It means... Destiny. I think it's a bit of an exaggeration, though.
Sure is good to be back in the pleasant climes of Menancia. Especially after the extremes of some of the other regions we visited.
Definitely. Your country is beautiful.
You do me an honor. However, this place was never mine to own.
I didn't mean it that way. Though, I guess technically you weren't born here either. Native or not, that doesn't change the feelings you had for the place. If I were you, I'd try to take a little pride in people's compliments.
Allow myself to feel pride, huh? That sounds like no easy task.
Nothing sounds easy when you overthink things the way you do. It must be exhausting.
He's always worrying about something. It's probably what gives him his eye for detail. That's just the way he is.
Yeah, so we'd noticed.
Let's change the subject, shall we? It's a wonder so many things coincided to bring us here. Alphen's awakening, Shion's decision to revolt, the Dahnan uprising in Calaglia, the crown contest's final, sputtering throws.
Zephyr's being in the right place at the right time, the fact that you happened to be a lord just as this was all going on.
It's almost as if we were brought together by design. By someone who wanted to bring down the system.
No, enough Hand of Destiny talk. We did this on our own steam. It's our responsibility to see it through.
Did Law just utter a pearl of wisdom?
I do think about things, you know. Just what do you take me for exactly?
Honestly, I always sort of pegged you as a likable dolt.
What the hell makes me a dolt, you dolt?
I mean, she did say he was a likable dolt, didn't she?
Let's refrain from poking this particular Zoogle any further. Some lessons just can't be taught.
Not to dolts, anyway.
Hey, Kisara. What's your secret for putting up with Dohalim? I don't know how you managed to deal with him.
Secret? Oh, I don't think it's as difficult as all that, really.
Could have had me fooled. Anyone who waxes lyrical on the aesthetic qualities of cactus thorns is a step too far for me.
And those poetic flourishes he sneaks into regular conversation? How am I supposed to react?
He likes the sound of his own voice, that's for sure. I say let him have his fun. No need to try and understand anything he says.
Has he always been like that?
He didn't seem as on edge all the time back in Menancia. Though he was my superior back then. So who's to say what I didn't see?
The Lord of Cyslodia hid in plain sight while a crony posing as him carried out all his business. What if the Lord we met in Vicente was really...
An imposter? Dohalim? Hardly. Like it or not, that's him all right. In all his flamboyant, circumloquacious glory.
I'd like to see someone try to impersonate that on a daily basis.
Come to think of it, what with being a lord and all, he's probably never had anyone to speak to on an equal basis.
It wouldn't surprise me. Having you guys around, having a family in a way, must be what's helped him change.
A little heads up on some of his eccentricities would have been nice.
It's those eccentricities that make him who he is.
something.
Who? Who?
Maybe something's going on in the forest.
I never thought about this until now, Alphen, but doesn't it get hot wearing that armor all the time? You feel heat and cold again, don't you?
Admittedly, yeah. It can get pretty toasty in this thing.
Is it hard when your back starts to itch?
Oh, you bet. Plus, my shoulders get stiff wearing it, even if it's not all that heavy.
Kisara looks like she manages all right with her armor.
Armor takes a strong body and a stout heart.
Spoken like a true guardsman. Not that I really get what you mean.
The more I think about it, the more I realize what a pain it must be. Like, what do you do when you need to take a leak?
Ew!
That part can be a bit of a pain, yeah. More things to take off.
That sucks, man. Wouldn't it be easier if you just walked around outside of your armor most of the time instead?
You never know when the enemy might attack. As tempting as it might be to take it off, it's not worth getting killed over.
So basically, you're screwed if you ever get attacked while taking a dump. Right, Rinwell?
Are you doing this on purpose? Oh? Right.
I wonder what we'll find out there this time.
Most likely Zeugles, I would reckon.
I mean, other than them.
Looks like we made it here in one piece.
Everything okay there, big guy? You look kinda pissed.
I'll say. He looks like he wants to bite the head off something.
What's eating at you? Come on, Alphen. You're gonna bring us all down if you keep that ferocious scowl on.
Oh, sorry. Do I really look that ticked off?
Yeah, it kinda makes you hard to talk to. So, what's bothering you?
It's a pebble.
A pebble?
Snuck its way into the back of my boot. I can't seem to get rid of it.
Oh, I totally get you. Weird how much it can get on your nerves, huh?
Yeah, it's barely bigger than a grain of sand. So how come it feels like I'm walking around on hot nails?
You know, maybe this is a crazy solution, but you could just take your boot off and give it a shake.
Ah, yeah. Yeah, of course. You're right. Phew. It's like I've been given a new lease on life. Thanks for the tip, Shion.
Seemed kind of obvious, but you're welcome. That's the trouble with windy places. All that fine debris ends up getting into your hair and clothes.
Alphen, is it just me, or have you become extra sensitive ever since getting your sense of pain back?
Now that you mention it, the other night at camp, there was a fly buzzing around that annoyed him so much, he unsheathed the blazing sword.
So much for sensitive. That's just being a Mr. Cranky Pants.
Nothing new on that front, then.
What's the matter, Alphen? You look a little tense.
It's nothing, really.
He wants to get angry, but knows that doing so would only prove our point. Hence the building frustration showing plainly on his face.
Would you stop analyzing things for 1 minute?
Point taken.
sense one of your friends, Hootle?
Isn't that Almadria's?
So this is where her ship drifted.
Then the one who wrote the letter is...
Alive, but badly wounded. I doubt many of the others have survived.
Let's survey the area.
Let's see what you've got.
I'm on it! Talon Hurricane! Radiant Blow! Catapult! Talon Hurricane!
If they rush you gotta jump for cover, okay?
Primed and ready!
Do it!
Rising Wyvern! Xion!
Get toasty!
Burn Strike!
Right, next one.
Already on! I'll finish you here
Charge
and now!
like that could easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop it.
Finish it! Hurricane! Take! Blow them away!
Barely a blip on our radar.
Hey, look at that enemy. It's shining.
I have a bad feeling
Stay
about
calm.
this.
I shall provide assistance.
Rising
So what did
Wyvern!
I do?
Denied!
Soaring Light Spear!
Insects should stay on the ground.
Thankful Arrow! Begin! Line free! Why can't they just sit still?
Xion, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done.
We've turned the tables on them.
There are still more left.
Right. No time to hold back.
Blazing Flame! Rising Wyvern! First strike! You shouldn't have messed with me! Whirlwind Snap! Talon Hurricane! Dazzle! Eat Rising Falcon! Breath of life! Heal my weakness! I'll crush you! Lightning Reflexes! Tenebrous Claw!
Will this help?
Talon Hurricane! Soaring Alpha! Flew away! What? Talon Hurricane! I'm ready! Dohalim! Take! Throw them away!
I've been doing really great lately. You guys want to rest here?
Hey, that looks pretty good.
This is such a beautiful island.
Yet it's just as full of Zeugles as everywhere else on Dana.
The fact there are piers suggests people must have come here in the past, though.
The reason they're gone is simple. The Renans put all of the Danans to work on the crown contest after they conquered the planet.
So there would have been nobody left to enjoy the view here after the Great Conquest. Once this whole thing is over, we'll have to all come back here together so we can appreciate it. Did I say something weird?
No. I was just impressed you came up with such a good idea for once.
I love how much amazing food we get to eat even when we're out on the road.
Me too. Especially compared to what I used to have when I was still a slave. This is paradise.
It's amazing what good food can do to keep your hopes up. Nagal used to say all the time that the power of food is subtle, yet profound.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? For whatever reason, I find I don't worry nearly as much when I've got a full stomach helping me out.
That's why you shouldn't be such a picky eater.
Huh?
She's right. You always leave food that you don't like on your plate when you're done.
Come on, what's the big deal?
Back in the day, I couldn't think about leaving any food. It was such a waste not to eat at all. You needed every last scrap of energy.
Exactly. Even when my brother and I didn't have much to eat, we all did what we could to make it taste good and enjoy what we had.
That definitely explains a lot about why you cook the way you do, Kisara.
Dohalim, I bet you don't know what any of that's like. You must be used to food being handed to you on a silver platter.
Sometimes it was gold.
You didn't shy away from that at all.
Although, there was one experience that does come to mind.
Oh?
When I first learned that the food I ate originally came from animals and fish, I was rather taken aback.
You just ate whatever was in front of you without even thinking about it?
That's a silver-spooned elite for you.
Your cooking has really improved, Xion.
It's because of you that I understand what makes it so fun. I'm glad everyone seems to enjoy what I make, too.
I've noticed a disturbing trend that after it's your turn to cook, our ingredients tend to run really low. What's up with that?
That is a good point, Law. There's a weird difference between the amount of ingredients she prepares and how much food actually gets served. Curious. Very curious indeed.
I don't know. Isn't it pretty normal for veggies to shrink a little when you fry them up?
Or maybe she eats all the bad batches herself so we won't notice.
Come on. I wouldn't do anything like that.
Then how would you explain the difference?
Ahem. I have a theory that I wish to propose.
What is it?
As we all know, Xion here can have quite the appetite. I imagine she often taste tests her own food as she prepares it. By my eye, it would appear that her footprints are leaving deeper impressions as of late. Far be it from me to level such an accusation, but the facts lead me to conclude that...
She's been snacking while she cooks.
And yet, she still looks so slender in her clothing.
Yeah, I'm kind of envious, actually.
Wait a sec, are you guys trying to say she's...
I'm what?
Nothing?
Nothing. Xion, about that fight just now.
Sorry about that. I was careless.
I didn't come to criticize you. Just please take better care of yourself.
You don't need to worry about me. In case you forgot, I can't exactly die anyway. It's like how you used to not care about getting beat up because you couldn't feel pain, and then I was the one to patch you up. It's the same thing.
You're right. That is how I used to be. But this isn't the same.
Then what do you mean? How is what's happening now different from what happened then?
It's different now.
Look, if you mean because you can feel pain again,
It's because I don't want to see you getting hurt. You're right. When I couldn't feel any pain, I put myself in all sorts of dangerous situations. I didn't listen to anybody's warnings, and I made a lot of people worried for no good reason. It was foolish. This isn't about you and me being able to take pain. I don't want to have to see you get hurt, Shion. It's too much for me to take. Is that a crazy thing to say?
No, it isn't. And I definitely don't like seeing you get hurt either, Alphen. We can't expect our enemies to show us any mercy, but I will do my best not to throw myself in harm's way out there either. How does that sound?
I'm sorry if I sounded harsh earlier. I didn't mean to. I just really want you to take better care of yourself.
I will. At least, for as long as I can.
Thanks for waiting. Eat as much as you like.
Mind if I join you, Law?
So, how's it been going?
How's what been going?
Come on, man. You know what I mean. How have things been with you and Shion?
I had a feeling it was about that. Well, what about things on your end?
No, we're not talking about me. I'd rather hear about you.
I don't really have anything to share on that front.
Don't be like that. You think I can't tell something's been going on?
Look, I'm not the type to go blabbing about that kind of stuff.
Give me a break. Don't keep secrets from me just because you're a little old.
I'm not that old.
I don't know, man. Lately it seems like you start wheezing as soon as we get into a fight.
That's some pretty big talk. You really want to try your luck with me? What were we talking about before?
It was... well, it doesn't really matter now.
What's wrong? Did I hit your head too hard?
No, man, you don't get it. You're really something, Alphen.
What do you mean?
Just you. How you always indulge me and help me work through my jumbled thoughts.
Do I?
Yeah, I always feel better after being with you. Even duking it out just now helped.
There you go again, making me out to be better than I really am.
I'm not making you out to be anything. You can't stop me from admiring you, Alphen.
You've got strange taste then.
I'm fine with that. I hope someday I can be there to lift you up, too.
I don't plan on getting quite that old anytime soon.
We should go again sometime.
We should. I look forward to it.
Let's make sure to kick ass tomorrow, too. I feel pretty refreshed after that sleep.
Retreat if you know what's good for you. Rolling snap!
If it's in the sky, it's mine!
I'll run you through! I'm on it! I'll finish you here and now! Talon Heart! Sofa! First strike! Negative switch! It's charging us!
That's what my shield's for.
Do it!
Get behind me!
Got it! I'll leave it to you!
First strike! I'm on it! Eternal devastation!
Wow! Look what I just found.
It'll be a breeze. Get in, get out. Armor won't save you.
Severing wind!
I'll tear you apart.
Are those arms even natural?
Eat this. Now I'm in the groove. Eat this.
Lunar corruption! By the power
Eat
of
this.
water!
I'll end you.
Too fast!
Stand back. I'll trim it up.
Here's the
Now I'm real mad.
Dragon Floor!
Talon Hurricane.
Freeze laser!
Slash. Super Swallow Dance. I'm ready. This calls for a celebratory drink. Backing down!
You're mine!
Take this! Death Blossom! Eat this!
Swallow Blade!
I'll thank you! Simian pest! I shall heal you where you stand!
Double beat attack!
Let's do it! No backing down!
Ignite!
Death Blossom! I'm on
Demon Blade! Finish it!
Your blade moves like silk. That just let my instincts take over. How fascinating.
I'm on it!
Only the best materials in your garments.
You really do have quite the discerning eye, Dohalim.
Yeah, they all kind of look the same to me.
Great, now I'm hurt and dirt. I won't forgive you!
Eat this! I'll smash you!
One more! Demon Fang! Double Demon Fang!
Release of deity! You require help. Watch this!
Finish it!
You're wide open! Twist and tear!
Laser spear! Pure evil!
I'll stop its charge!
Thanks, Kitara!
Do it! Break it!
Rending
Hold on! Just a little... A victory for the ages.
A fish! You saw it too, right? Now where might those fish be?
You're still not done fishing yet? Boring.
You need patience to fish.
Ha!
All right. That's not a fish I see often.
Wow, what an awesome fish you caught! Hey, what do you think about that spot?
Good idea. I'll go for that one. Yeah!
All right.
I'll catch something bigger next time.
Could have been worse. At least you caught something.
There's a nice breeze here.
If you know what's good for you.
This one's mine!
Raising flame! Watch this! Bullseye, Sion! None!
Get out of my sight line or you'll get hit!
Oops, right. Sorry. Thanks.
Reload!
Rending you apart.
Didn't even break a sweat.
It's you.
Lord Dohalim.
I figured I'd find you here, Kelzalik.
You knew he'd be here?
The handwriting on the note was all too familiar to me.
Did you come all the way out here to mock me, or have you changed your mind about putting me to death?
What if I had?
You have no right. You who abandoned your lordly duties and chose to fraternize with embeddeds of all people! And for what? How could someone as powerful as yourself turn your back upon the crown contest?
Not this again.
I ran from this once, but I must face it now. The crown contest was never for me. I apologize for dragging you along, but I do not regret my choice in the slightest. Listen to me, Kelthalik. People change. They can change given time, and regardless of their race. I know you're a capable man. You could do so much for others if you were so inclined.
Me? Impossible. It's too late for me. Death. Death closes in on me wherever I go.
What?
That's Almetrius.
Is she alive too?
It's death!
Has this thing become even more ruthless?
There's nothing more fearsome than a wounded beast.
Especially without its master.
Well, I'm not leaving it to its own devices.
In a bind? Exploit the enemy's weakness.
To use all the power of my healing arts to accomplish this.
On the wind.
Is this it?
Don't give up!
They smite with blessing.
I'll bring you back from death's abyss.
Execution. Now I freaking done it. Not my finest.
Sorry.
Another
I didn't want to put you
incantation
out.
ruined. What a friend. We can't depend on them.
You're right. I'll bear that in mind. I'll bring you back from death's abyss.
I'm just getting started.
Resuscitation!
Rising Rider!
Glitter Dragon!
No rest for the wicked.
Elucidity! That's right!
Stay away from my...
On a roll now!
Demon Fang!
Glitter Dragon!
Leave the chargers to me!
Rip and tear! Anything in armor is all mine!
Resuscitation! Not in your dreams!
Denied!
Demon Fang!
I can carve through armor!
Back into the fray!
Can you take it? Freaking does it!
Death's abyss!
It's in your hands.
Not my finest!
Magna Ray!
Not done yet!
By the
Rising Wyvern!
No rest for the wicked. Forgive me. This is my fault.
Explosive ring!
Can't move yet! Shine! Radiant light!
I can't lose!
Regeneration! Regenerate! From beyond, imbue the... Vanquish
I can
soul
feel
with
the
life.
magic.
Rolling snap! Talon Hurricane! I've let you all
Can't
down.
heal you forever!
Death on the wind!
Demon Fang!
Crush!
Lunar Cruise! Back to your arms! Here I come! To the floor! Annihilation! Radiant Pierce!
Double Demon
I'll
Fang!
bring you
No
back
further.
from death's abyss!
Destruction! Eternal devastation!
Resuscitation!
I'll run to the death! Don't pay for
Lightning!
that! Can you
That'll bring you down!
Light Eater!
Talon Hurricane! Snake Bolero! Dragon Swarm! Resonate with the earth!
Magna Ray!
Stalagmite!
By the power of water! Gemini Aqua!
I'll tear you apart! Not my finest.
I couldn't make it in time.
I'll bring you back from death's abyss! Resuscitation! Here, let me help!
Not done.
Sorry to trouble.
I'll bring you back from death's
No
abyss!
dawn shall break this
Leave
night.
the chargers to me!
I'm going to need to use all the power of my healing arts to accomplish
Demon
this.
Sonic Thrust!
Pierce through! Rising Wyvern!
I'm on soaring
Spear!
Armor won't save you! In a bind? Talon Hurricane!
Double Demon Fang!
I'll finish you here and now! Here!
Demon Fang! Double
Dead.
Demon Fang!
You're done!
It's in your hands now.
You'll pay for that!
Explosion! Healing! This one's mine!
Double Demon Fang!
Hurricane!
I'll bring you back from
Not
death's
my
abyss.
finest.
Resuscitation! Can't move! They smite with blackened blade!
Searing flame! Reload!
Execution!
I'll bring you back from death's abyss!
Stalagmite!
Nothing
I'll
gets
bring you
by
back
me.
from
Death's abyss!
Air pressure!
I'll bring you
Here we go again!
Resuscitation!
Benediction light!
Lightning! Downfall!
Benediction Whirlwind snap! Talon Hurricane!
Thank you for the healing, Delverine.
Our comrades need our abilities to survive.
Right.
I'm
No one
letting
is
you all
dying
down.
on our watch.
Not done yet! Not done yet! Swallow blade! Cure! Slot! It's in your hands now.
I can't lose! Resuscitation! Leave me!
Beckon into everlasting.
I've let you all down.
Negative gate!
I'll bring you back from death's
No
abyss.
further.
Resuscitation! Prime is ready!
They'll pay for that!
Lunar corruption! Ready! Lunar blast! Watch and weep! Magna ray! Annihilation! Hear me! Flame of fury! Burning strike!
Not my
I'll bring you
finest.
back from death's abyss! Resuscitation!
I owe you one. Double demon fang! Destruction! Eternal devastation!
First aid!
Demon fang! Double demon
It's
fang!
over! Back into the fray! Magna ray!
Rising wyvern!
You're bruised all over. Did you even notice?
Guess I got carried away.
I'm not always going to be around to heal you, you know.
Demon fang! Double demon fang! I can't move!
We should be able to cook here.
There's something in the water.
We've reached our destination.
Whoo! I think Hootle senses something. Whoo!
Huh? I think someone's calling out for us.
They could have something they need from us. I never realized before just how hot this place is. It's like being inside a fire.
You're only just noticing? Ah, yes, forgive me. The whole lack of sensory feedback situation.
That's the one. It's hard to believe I once worked in this soup, let alone helped spearhead a revolution.
And all with the mask concealing your face. It must have been very grimy beneath that.
Back then, we had our plates full enough dealing with constant abuse from our Renan overlords. It never occurred to me the air itself was oppressive in its own way. My head's spinning just with the effort it takes to walk.
I think that's called heat stroke. You might want to take a sip of water.
You mean that water that's been festering under the sun for days? I wouldn't chance it without boiling it first.
Oh, I know! I'll go to the dock and fetch us some clean water.
Water alone won't suffice. You'll need to ensure his sodium levels are replenished as well.
In that case, let's see if we can rustle up some rock salt. Alphen, you go cool off in the shade for a while. Shion, stay and keep an eye on him.
And then there were two.
Bit of an overreaction, but it's still kind of them.
Maybe it's not the time, but this place brings back memories.
I know what you mean. We're back where it all started.
You don't ever regret meeting me sometimes, do you?
Are you kidding? You started all of this. Bringing down the wall, retrieving my sense of self. I have no regrets.
Welcome back, Law.
Hey.
Yes.
Just great.
How's this?
Got it.
Hey!
Yay!
All right.
Hey, she's pretty cute.
Who are you looking at? Quit gawking and let's go.
Ow! Hey, Alphen, what do you think of that chick over there?
Doesn't look like she really works out.
I'm not talking about her muscles, you dummy!
Hey.
Hey! Yes!
Right.
Sure.
I don't believe this! Ah!
Okay!
Great. Good.
Nice work. Ah!
But this is...
Wow.
Yes!
Oh!
Amazing!
Nice work. Very nice.
Thanks.
Yes!
That was quite the little adventure we went on.
Hey.
Yes. Oh.
Yay! What? Yeah!
Yes.
Yeah!
We avoided getting roasted in that ring, but what we could really use is something to cap this off.
Sure. Got any ideas on what would be good?
Mabo curry. Fried bread stuffed with curry.
You'd probably buy out the whole stock. Always good to be back in familiar territory. Hey, didn't we find a recipe that...
Yeah, we can use this for it.
I think there's someone in trouble here.
Well, let's see what they have to say. Yeah! Hey. Yeah! Just great.
I guess... Thanks.
Well... Hmm? All right.
Huh? Uh-huh.
All right.
I guess.
Whew.
Got it.
We've reached our destination.
Is this the barrier that's keeping the Zoogle in that Nath mentioned?
Looks like it. Our Zoogle pal should be on the other side.
This barrier is weird. It looks old and half-finished. Plus, he said it was okay to break.
I mean, we won't need it anymore once the Zoogle's gone, right? So what does it matter? Did they really think that barrier was enough for a Zoogle like that?
It was. That thing was sturdier than you give it credit for.
Really? So that's the Zoogle, huh? This should be a piece of cake.
Don't get careless, Law.
That is one enormous stray.
I don't think we can take it right now.
This one's tough, but we have no choice.
Let me know if you need healing.
Take this!
Is it high? Just back it out again.
Aim for the weak spot. I'll bash in there defensive.
Glad you have your uses.
I'll show you how useful I can be. Today.
Where are you going?
I'm just getting started. Catapult.
Amazing.
Raising flame. I'm on. Come on, get it. What's this?
Hear me! Flame of fury!
No further.
Glacial Spear! Here's the evil!
The enemy wheels are
Outstanding form! We'll soon see about that!
Eagle Ray. Catapult.
Annihilation! Hear me! Flame of fury! Burning! Water! Hear my call!
Heal my weary companion. Burn in hell.
Glacial Spear! Here's the evil!
First strike.
Freeze
Take this.
Lancer!
Talon
Hurricane!
Hurricane.
Here's the healing art! Here goes!
Get through.
Denied!
Demon Pet. Take this. On your knees.
I'll heal you all!
Talon Hurricane. Try this.
Healing circle!
Explosive ring.
So much for sitting this fight out.
That wouldn't be a complete idea.
Nope, that is silly.
Rising Wyvern. I'm just getting good work.
Oh, it's
Logan form. Crush. First strike. Easy. Soaring drop.
That'll bring you down.
Eat this. In a bind. Try this.
Confiscated! I'm going to use all the power of my healing art.
This was mine. Negative death. First strike. Rending you apart. I'm just getting started. Bloody Rising flame. Eat this. Rising phoenix. Talon Hurricane. Unity of your movement. Try this.
Nothing gets by me!
Infernal current. Elusive gleam. I'm on it! And you can't get
Denied!
Take time! No further! I'm right behind you! You're on! Take Dragon Power! Thank you! Rip and tear! Demon Fang! Oh, and you! Catapult! Super Swallow!
Ready!
Double Demon Fang! Oh! Now I'm real mad! Demon Fang! Do it! Talon Hurricane!
Flame of Fury!
I'll grind you with it! Here and now! Demon Fang! Double Demon Fang! It's too much! I'll crush you! Lightning Reflexes! Tenebrous Claw! Eat this! In a vine, coming here! Demon Fang! Our surges through me! Demon Fang! Begin! This armor won't save you! This one's mine! Now I'm in the groove! Lightning Thrust! Lightning Fang!
It's weakened!
This ends now! Eat this! Blazing Flame!
Healing Circle!
I hope this thing is meant for you. I'm sorry to be a bother. We've all got enough. Yes, ma'am. Ready and ready. Elusive Deity. Demon Lash. Ignite. Talon Hurricane.
I'm all stuffed up! Hold on to your arms! Here I come!
Prepare to be sealed! In a vine! Eat this! I'll run you through! First strike! Elusive Deity! Soaring Blast! I'll end you! Eagle Ray! Demons Descend! Flashing Fang!
Leave the target to me!
Raging Flame! And you take it? I'm on it!
I never miss!
I'll smash you! Eat this! It's trying to take us out. Well, I will go quietly. Now we're not
Flame of Fury! Hear my call! Blaze of Steel!
In a vine?
Here's the evil!
Almost! Demon Fang! Burn in hell! First strike! Heal my weary companion! Stop! Stop!
Radiant Pierce!
Watch it!
Here, let me hold
Take it! That's a picture of hell!
I won't give up!
You'll pay for that!
I can feel the medicine working!
What is this? Hey, you okay? I can still do this! Free your power!
Healing Circle!
Blew away! I'm on it!
Back into the
Glacial Shield!
Here's the healing!
Attack time!
Need to freeze lance!
I'm gonna
Bring
need
you
more
back
test.
to depths of it!
All finished!
I can handle it!
Demon Fang!
Far enough!
I'm going to need to use all
All
the
rest for the witches.
Here's the healing arc! I'm going to need to use all the power of my healing arc
All
to
good
accomplish
things
this.
come to an end. Not my finest. Forgive me. It was my fault. No further! Demon Fang!
Bring you back up.
Captivity!
Resuscitation!
It's gonna attack!
Right,
Demon
one
Fang!
down.
Double Demon Fang!
Heal it!
I hope this thing is medically approved. I'm sorry it's trouble.
Same for me. I can feel the medicine working.
Burn in hell! Eat this! Talon Hurricane!
Freeze
Ready and
Lancer!
ready!
Will this help?
Double Demon Fang! I can carve through armor! Demon Fang! Double Demon Fang! Now I'm in!
Far enough!
In a vine!
Will this help?
Raging Flame! Dazzle! Start up! Eagle Ray!
I never miss!
Why'd you heal me?
To stop you dying?
Ah, right.
Mega Ray!
Beyond!
No!
Resuscitation! Benediction light.
I've let you all down.
Back from Death's Abyss.
Shotgun flash! I'll grind you with a double demon fang!
I'm going to need to use all the power
You
of my
picked the
healing
wrong
arts to
fight.
accomplish this.
You require a hand.
Super solo again!
No further!
First strike! Tackle! It's showtime! Raising flame! Rising wiper! I'll smash you!
By the power of flame!
No further.
Swordering Alpha! Talon Hurricane! Lightning Slash! Glimmer Dragon!
Explosion! Hear me! Flame of fury! Burning
Denied!
Water! Hear my call!
My pride was down.
Here! Here comes something big!
Try to dodge!
No dawn shall break this night. Breath of life, I'll heal my weary companion.
You picked the wrong fight!
Molotov field!
Let us take to the
By
fray.
the power of flame! Vanish without a trace!
Benediction light.
I've let you all down.
Sonic Thrust!
Here!
Swordering Alpha!
Imbued with
Take
vengeance. Your incantation ruined.
First strike!
First aid!
That frickin' does it!
No dawn shall break this night.
I am ready to go!
Here's
I can do
evil!
the Rising Wyvern!
Freeze laser!
Raising
Anything in armor is all mine.
Dragon Armor won't save you! I'm
Back
on
into
it!
the press!
I'll finish you here and now!
Coming through! Mega ray!
Glimmer Dragon! Okay, here I go! Raising
It's in your hands now.
Be still! Raising!
Now I'm in the groove.
The picture of hell! Burn in hell! Raising flame!
They're crumbling!
Now we beat the crap out of them.
Remind me to stay on your good side. Shattering flying!
Such unadulterated fury.
Demon Fang!
I'll heal you all!
I can carve through armor.
That move!
Here comes the big one!
Now it's my turn.
No! Can't get here!
Nothing gets by me!
You shouldn't have messed with me.
Dance on the wind. Reflect on thy sin.
Searing flame!
Rising Wyvern!
Evil assault!
Come to an end.
Far enough! Lunar corruption! Lunar blast!
Breath of
No further!
Demon Fang! Double Demon Fang!
Can't be happening!
I couldn't make it in time.
Ready and raring.
Resuscitation!
Almost.
Now I can let loose! Test it out! Forgive me.
You're mine!
Lunar corruption! Gemini Alpha!
Here we go again.
Take this!
Lunar corruption!
Flying like spear!
Smash you!
On your knees! Now, while it's reeling!
Take it down!
Raising flame! Megasonic Thrust!
I'll finish.
Not in your dreams!
Such unadulterated fury.
Explosive ring! You're done!
Stalagmite.
Leave the charges to me!
Lunar blast!
It's time!
Thank
Not
you.
today!
Take this!
Lunar corruption! Let them march!
Into everlasting dark. Now we're not
Try harder!
They might take
Hear
this!
my call!
That frickin' does it.
I'll
Smash you!
You're on!
Dragon Form. Why, thank you, your lordship.
And will you lay down your life for
Now
your
I'm in the groove. Well, I mean, hey, let's not be hasty.
Raising
Shine,
flame!
radiant
First
light.
strike!
I've let you all down.
Regeneration!
Bring you back from death's abyss.
He who prepares is free from
Hold on to your art. Here I come.
Double Demon Fang! Rising Wyvern!
Ready to go. Pierce evil. Freeze Blaster.
I'll tear you apart! Double Demon Fang! Eat dirt! I'm on it!
Resuscitation.
Demon Fang! Now I'm in the way! Armor won't save you! Eat this! Elusive enemy I could do without. Watch him move!
Don't give up. Super
Take this!
Pull myself together.
Take Bolero!
Red.
Rip his hair! Imbue this vanquished soul with life!
Lunar Blast.
Resuscitation! Benediction life! Not done yet!
Solid Hurricane.
Not my
Where
fight!
are you going? I'll bring you back from death's abyss.
I'll grind you into dust!
Resuscitation by the power of
Rending you
Blade.
apart!
Finish without a
The
trace.
paper bloody
Don't
howling!
mind if I do.
Super
Such unadulterated fury.
I'll end you! Leave the charges to me!
Glacial Spear. Here's evil.
Take this!
I've let you all down.
I can't heal you forever.
Everlasting double! Instinct shock!
Back into the fray. Radiant, pierce.
I'm ready! Shion!
This one's got your name on it.
Ashes to ashes!
Huh? What's a letter doing in a place like this?
Hell if I know. I highly doubt that Zoogle was trying to guard it. Still, somebody must have left it for some... Law.
Huh? What's up?
Something up?
It's from my old man. My dear son, I wonder how things will be between us by the time you read this.
In any case, I first want to congratulate you on all that you've accomplished. Making it this far requires a strong body, fine technique, an unwavering spirit, and most of all, friends that you can count on. If you have all of that, then I, as your father, have nothing to worry about. Those things together will always keep you on the right path. That brings me to what I really wish to discuss with you. As with all of us, there will someday come a time when you'll be a grown man who can and must think and act for himself. Whether you'll live in a world where blood will no longer be spilled between Dahnans and Renans, or when that day arrives, nobody can say. But even if peace still eludes us then, you'll have to decide how to live in this world. Listen to others with an open heart, but don't be swept away by their words. Always live on your terms. One more thing. If I ever see you again, I hope to say this to you in person, but neither of us knows what tomorrow may bring. Know this. Whatever you think of me, and what I've done, your mother and I love you very, very much.
And there's nothing in this whole world that will ever change that. Your father, Zephyr.
Zephyr.
I can't believe he's only telling me all this after he's gone. What am I supposed to do with this?
Zephyr once told me that living freely meant being your own master. I think he wanted to make sure you know how he felt one way or another. What you do with that knowledge is up to you.
But that still doesn't explain why his father left that letter for him here, of all places.
Don't forget, we were led to this place. We may well get some answers if we go back to the source of all this.
We've reached our destination.
Hey.
Hey.
I guess... No way. Damn. Whew.
All right. This is...
Thanks.
You okay, Law? You seem kind of quiet.
I'm fine. Just feels a little weird returning home now that my dad's not here, I guess. Oh man, sorry. I didn't mean to bum you out too.
So I guess that means you'll be visiting your dad's grave while you're here. Right, Law?
His grave? What are you, nuts? There is no grave. The Rena would only destroy it the moment they found it.
Back before Calaglia was liberated, dead slaves would be dumped in mass burial sites. Either that or thrown on top of a bonfire. We got used to cremating our own to deny them the pleasure. Then we'd sprinkle the ashes from high up as a way of returning them to the motherland.
It's all we could do. That's the ceremony we had when my mom died, too.
But that was back then, right? Calaglia is liberated now. There's nothing to stop you from raising a true grave anymore.
I suppose you've got a point. Once you've been doing something for generations, though, it sort of begins to take root. It's a tradition of its own now.
My dad wouldn't want that anyway. Cheap and simple, he'd say. Besides, I can't treat him differently than my mom. They might not end up meeting on the other side.
I hadn't thought of it like that. Wow, imagine. The two of them reunited, back home where they belong. They're probably watching over us right now, at one with Great Dana. There's something almost poetic about it.
That's why I can't afford to screw up. If I know my pops, something as paltry as death won't stop him from coming to box my ears. Still, better than being left alone, I guess. Better than never knowing. You hear that, Dad? I'll make you proud. You'll see.
Looks like we get to sleep with a roof over our heads. It feels kinda surreal to make people happy with something I made.
Finally. If only we could have flown with the wind to get here faster.
Doing some thinking?
Nah. It just occurred to me that our journey's been going for a while now.
Is it a wonder to you our group has held together this long?
Maybe. We've got Dahnans, Renans, a lord, a mage, and even a guy from another time. Yet here we all are, leaning on each other as travel companions. It's like a minor miracle.
If anything, I'd say it's proof. Proof that as long as we accept each other for who we are, we can all get along.
And with understanding comes togetherness. Yeah, we are more than enough evidence of that.
I've always had a thorny relationship with others. Quite literally, as it happens. I figured that it was easier to give up on intimacy, rather than having to go through all of the pain of rejection. I mean, is it any wonder I grew thorns around my heart, too?
But now...
Right. Now... I still have my thorns, of course. But they don't cover my heart. I know now that there is more than one way for people to relate to one another. It was you and everyone else here that taught me that. Everyone that you brought together, Alphen.
It wasn't just me. I mean, sure, I invited a few folks to join us, but... swordsmanship's about all I have to offer. Everyone's taught and supported me just as much as I have them.
You see? That's what I'm talking about.
What do you mean?
I mean, you're fine just as you are. The bonds that you form with others, they shine more brightly because they're mutual. It's not just one bond for you. It's many, each with a heart of its own. That's what makes them special. Why are you staring at me?
I could ask the same thing.
So this is how the Sovereign and Maiden are supposed to look. You two go great together.
Law, come stand between us.
Oh, sure. You want me to put something white on as well?
Of course she doesn't.
Take a closer look, Xion. It's a miracle.
What are you talking about?
This outfit, it's already got blue accents on it.
So I see.
Hey, Alphen. Why do you like spicy food so much anyway?
You know, I haven't thought about that before. Maybe because when I couldn't feel pain, it gave me that kick I was craving.
But now that you can feel pain again, wouldn't your tastes have changed?
Did you like spicy food when you were younger?
Not as much as I do now. At some point, it just became something almost like an addiction, I guess.
I can most certainly relate. Once you've had your fill of ordinary food, you cannot help but seek out more unusual fare.
I don't think that's got anything to do with Alphen's tastes. Although I won't deny that you definitely have a thing for exotic food. The stranger the better.
I just wish I could have gotten you into sweets like me, Alphen.
I like food that's dense and keeps you feeling full myself. It helps you last longer when you're on the move.
We all know you're a quantity over quality kind of...
What was that?
Nothing. I lost my train of thought.
You know, I've also noticed Xion's not really into the same kind of food most Renins are. Could be it's got something to do with the way she grew up.
That's so me. Even when I was little, I was all about food that gives me strength. All meat, all the time.
And I guess Kisara is so good at cooking fish because she can catch them herself.
I'm only good with fish because it used to be the easiest thing to get. When you work with something long enough, it comes naturally to you.
I like fish just fine. But what I really like about your cooking is how it tastes homemade. It reminds me of what my mom used to make.
Really? You know, I used to cook a lot of meals for younger kids, and they said the same thing.
When you get down to it, I guess the things a person cooks and the foods they like say a lot about the way they've lived.
What? Hey guys, I don't see any of our food anywhere.
What?
I know! The bag we kept it all in has vanished! Some Zeugles must have gotten in behind us and swiped the whole thing while we were fighting.
What? Huh? What are you guys talking about?
This affects you too, you know! We lost all our food, including all those sweets you love so frickin' much!
What? How could this happen? Those sweets are the highlight of my day! Oh, so hungry.
Hunger is like that. The moment you know there's nothing you can do about it, it becomes that much more unbearable.
Whoever did this, I swear I'm gonna make them pay for stealing our supplies.
All that's left now is this one lonesome apple.
Law?
What? Hey, don't look at me like that. I picked this apple myself. I'm not just gonna...
Food.
Hand it over.
Stay away!
Hey, I'm back. Huh? What the heck happened here?
Only a poignant reminder of how dangerous a food shortage can be in a collective. A serious problem indeed. And one we should all be mindful of.
I see. Does it have anything to do with why you're holding our food supply bag behind your back?
That turned out good, if I do say so myself.
Hey, what's the smoke? Is it an enemy attack?
Seriously, it's making my eyes and throat burn. What the hell is going on?
Probably some sort of gas. Try not to breathe it in as much as you can manage.
Gas? Those cowards!
Isn't this just cooking smoke?
What kind of food makes your throat burn so bad just from the smoke?
I believe Alphen is...
They're trying to gas Alphen?
What? Those sick bastards! I won't let them get away with this!
Calm yourselves and listen. I was simply trying to say that Alphen is the one cooking.
Oh?
Maybe I should throw in some more spices, just for that extra kick. Yeah, that'll help. Think I'll turn up the heat while I'm at it, too. Oh, crap. The spice is burned. Well, at least the meat's coming along nicely. All right. Now, I just flip it over, and then...
Hey, Alphen? What are you doing over there?
Oh, Shion. Perfect timing. I actually just finished roasting up a chicken. Call everybody over so we can eat together. I used a ton of spices, so it's got a good punch to it. Might have overcooked it a little, but it should still taste good.
I'm starting to understand why your food always tastes so damn spicy now.
Hasn't anyone told him that it is actually possible to have too much of a good thing?
If that's the taste he truly wants, far be it from me to contradict. His cuisine is a rather... delicate repast.
This was a good day.
Come on, Rinwell! Up and at 'em!
But I'm still all sleepy. If only we could have flown with the wind to get here faster.
Let's see what you've got.
I'm on water! Hear my call!
Negative gate!
Flame of fury! Burning strike! Water! Hear my call! Inferno! These ones can run rings around us! Piercing roar! Hear my call!
Make it rain!
Well, looky here.
We've reached our destination.
Let's see what you've got. Dance on the wing! Watch it!
Water!
I'll face you!
Round and pound! You head! What's not even there? Tiger blade! Charge! Discharge! Flame of fury! Burning strike! Glacial spear!
Look sharp! Look sharp! Too fast! Stand back! I'll trip it up.
Inferno crossing!
Can you take it? How about this?
Inspiration! Meteor!
One more! Well done!
Gemini Aqua!
I'll tear you up! Tempest! Catapult! Tempest!
Take it! Into the shadows!
I'll blind you to... Almost!
Going in! Water!
Dance in the wind!
Flame of fury! Burning! Ryan! Hear my call! Spread! Going in!
I'll face you!
Discharge! Weak!
Think you can fly?
Annihilation! Searing Flame! Reload! Flaming Meteor! Lunar Corruption!
Execution!
Gemini Aqua!
Stalagmite!
Death Bomb!
Flag Assault!
Lunar Corruption!
It does it!
Flaming Meteor!
Begin! Almost! Catapult!
Gemini Aqua!
How about this?
Piercing Roll!
Almost!
Burning Strike!
You make me angry. That was a bad idea.
Heal!
Annihilation! Mega Ray! Thermal Crossing! I'm gone!
Elusive
Let me
deity.
show you what my head...
I'll take you all on. Ha! Flare the Molotov!
This one is mine!
Radiant light!
Flag Assault! Healing Circle!
I owe you one for that.
Flaming Meteor! By the power of
Look
wind!
into it.
Vanish without a trace!
Air pressure!
Crescent Moon!
How about this?
Glacial Spear! Pierce Evil!
Electric does it! Crescent Flash! Blazing Flame!
All the power
Going in!
Yeah.
Flag Assault!
I owe you one for that.
Inspiration!
Glacial
I can do this all day!
I'm gone.
Tiger Blade!
Inferno
Elusive
Crossing!
deity.
You're mine!
Everlasting Dark!
Mega Ray! Annihilation! Annihilation! Mega Ray!
Seismic Rupture!
Flaming Meteor!
This one's for you, Dad!
Radiant Light! Alpin! Astral Energy!
Say no more!
The heavens must be smiling.
We finally made it.
I won't forgive you! Burning Tiger Blade! Hear my call! Split!
Raining fire to the spot of beast!
Glacial Spear! Pierce Evil!
Can you take it? Too fast! Stand back! I'll trip it up! I'll blind you with a elusive deity! Hitting
Going in! By the power of flame! Vanish without a trace!
Piercing Roar!
Blood.
rending you a
Radiant
bloody
Pierce!
on your
Time to shine! Mega Ray!
almost!
Gemini Aqua!
Stalagmite!
Radiant Pierce! Inferno out of ammo!
Look sharp!
I'm all
I'll blind you with a dust!
It's here! This time!
your
By the power of flame! Finish without touch!
Stalagmite! That frickin' does it!
Explosion! This one's mine! Inferno Crossing! Think you can fly? Hurricane Blast! On guard!
Negative gate!
Beast Assault!
Almost!
Here, let me help!
Stalagmite! Rending you apart!
How do you like being pounded into shape?
Bloody howling!
Searing Flame! Reload!
Look sharp!
Thunder Touch! Here's a healing arm! Strike!
I'll take you all on! Ha! Flare Demolitor!
Shine!
Piercing
Radiant
roar!
light! Force of regeneration! Regenerate!
Yeah, appreciate the concern.
The sooner you stop thanking, the sooner you can start helping.
I mean, yes, sir.
Lunar Correction Shot! Gemini Aqua!
This one
Almost!
Mega Ray!
on guard!
Dracula!
Watch it!
Fury! Burning Strike!
Glacial Spear!
Meteor! Hear me! Flame of
That
Fury!
frickin' does it!
Burning Steel!
Glacial Spear!
Radiant flame! Hitting pile driver! Just in time!
Hurricane
Watch
Strike!
this!
Beast of
Blazing flame! Negative gate! Look sharp!
By the
Blazing
power of
flame!
Going in!
All good things bloody howling!
Hurricane Strike!
Can you take it?
On guard! Inferno
Now
Crossing!
they see what I can do!
By the power of
I'm ready!
Hurricane First Aid! Beast Assault! Downfall! Radiant Furion Cowl! Igneous!
Everlasting shock!
The heavens must be... Smiling. That would... quite the little adventure we went on. Retreat if you know what's good for you.
Power of Flame! Vanish without a trace!
Bloody howling! Elusive deity! Hitting pile driver!
This one's mine! Burning Strike! Hear my call! Dracula! Red! Hit! Flame of Fury! Burning Strike! How about
Heal my
this?
weary companion! Cure!
Shield
Like
and
me! It's over!
On the way!
Here's a healing art! First aid!
Rending you apart!
Searing Flame! Reload!
Prepare to be seized on sweet. Actually, perhaps fun is more appropriate.
Less talking, more doing.
Resonate with
Here's
your
the
Watch it! On
Beast
the
Assault!
This one's for you, Dad! Inferno Fire! Stalagmite! Rending you apart! Bloody howling! Raising! I'll finish you here and now!
look sharp!
Watch it! Thunder Touch!
Blast Assault! Flaming Meteor!
Elusive deity!
Hurricane Blast!
They smite
Hear
with
my
black
call!
flame!
Fred! Glacial Spear! Here's the evil!
That frickin' does it!
Freeze Lancer!
Stalagmite! Rending you apart! Ready and ready! That frickin' does it!
Here's a healing art! Hurricane!
I don't have much left.
What a relief! Almost!
Gravitas Field!
Begin!
Crescent Moon! By the power of flame! Finish without
That
a
frickin' does it! Seismic rupture!
Explosion! How about hit? Flame of Fury! Burning Strike! Flaming Meteor! Here's evil! Freeze Lancer!
There are negative
Look sharp! By the power
you
of
apart!
flame! Finish without a
Bloody
trace!
howling!
Down! You're armed!
Here's a healing art!
Crumble! Raging flame!
Here's evil!
For you, Dad!
On guard!
Yes! Now I'm in the groove! It's time! Ha! Watch me soar! Heavenly Crimson Blossom! Raising
Here
flame!
I go! I'm only getting started!
That frickin' does it!
Make
Rocket Ray! Don't leave! Take! Blow them away! You can use martial arts too?
Am I... overstepping my bounds? That was quite the little adventure we went on.
I think I get the gist of this now.
This shall suffice. Please, everyone, have as much as you like.
Shion, could we talk a moment?
I thought you had something to talk about. I was waiting on you.
Not really. Why? Should I leave you alone when I don't?
No, it's fine.
We used to really have to force these conversations when we started talking to each other, didn't we?
To say the least. Hey.
What is it?
Do you think you'd like to make something together?
Make what exactly?
Just if you wanna make dinner together. What did you think I meant?
Huh? Dinner? Oh, dinner! Yes! Yes, of course! Dinner! Right.
What did you think I was talking about?
No, it's nothing. Don't worry about it. Anyway, what did you have in mind?
Well, do you recognize these ingredients?
This is... Wait, is this?
So you remember? That's right. We're going to fix the very first meal we ever had together. Although I remember it not being well received when we had it.
You still remember that, huh? I'm sorry, Shion.
I'm just teasing you, Alphen. I picked this recipe because it's easy to make, and I thought it would be a good choice for dinner, too. Anyway, let's get to work. With both of us making it, we should be finished in no time.
I never thought we'd end up eating alone like this again. Just the two of us.
Yeah. So much has changed when you look back on it. Well, I guess maybe not what we're eating, but still.
No, I'd say even that's changed too, in a sense. Our meals are a whole lot better now.
True. We've both come quite a long way in the culinary arts.
That's not exactly what I mean. How do I put it? It feels like eating together is a lot more enjoyable than it used to be.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Even after our battles are done, when Dana is saved and our mission is finished, we'll probably still be sitting down to dinner like this, night after night.
Yep, I doubt that much will change. You've always got to eat at some point.
I hope our dinners will always feel like this.
Maybe not exactly like this. Hopefully we won't still be camping out.
Oh, no, not at all. I meant in a nice, warm house. One with a roof over our heads and a proper fireplace, instead of an open campfire.
And real chairs instead of these logs. Nice plates and silverware on a big dining table. Oh, and a proper kitchen. That'd be nice too.
And when it's time to fix dinner, we'll be in that kitchen.
Standing side by side.
Whoops. Looks like we made too much. I don't think we'll be able to finish all this.
Yeah, you're right. I'll see if anybody else is still awake. I'd really hate to have to throw it away.
Side by side, huh?
I'm looking forward to breakfast. on, guys. We've got lots to do.